Okay guys, little beknownst to you, this is take 2 of this whole thing, so we're playing around with some technical difficulties that we had. Here we are. I am Dr. Heather Moore, owner of Total Performance Physical Therapy. Tonight we are going over how to recover from a long run. So what do you have to do? First we got to talk about what's a long run. So don't put yourself into a category of I'm not a distance runner, even if you are running only a couple miles, 3, 4. Everybody is different. This is a very subjective video because what is long to you may not be long to somebody else. And it's okay that you are only doing 2 or 3 miles and that's a long run for you. This is designed to, that run that exhausts you, that run that makes you a little bit sore, not the HIIT run necessarily, the one where you're like sprinting and then you walk, and then you're sprinting and then you walk. That's speed training, a little bit different. This is more for those endurance runs, maybe a half marathon, maybe a marathon, maybe your first 5K, maybe your first 1 mile. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's up to you to determine what that term long run is. But this is what you should do afterwards. And it's really important that you recover afterwards. It's not okay just to kind of go sit on the couch, do nothing, and not allow your muscles to flush out all of that garbage that you built up. You are not going to have as good of a run the next time you go out if you don't take the time to recover from that run that you just did. So it is, I can't stress enough, making sure nutrition, sleep, all of that is in place for recovery so you're able to run the best you can the next time. And when I say how to recover, this is not immediately after. This is the day after. So you've had a night's sleep. This is the next day. So what do? First of all, you move. Okay, I can't tell you how important it is that you don't sit still all day. Even though you might be sore, you might be gassed, you move, okay? Even if you're doing this where you're fidgeting, you're standing at your desk, you're just kind of moving, you're taking a nice walk. I don't need to go run. That's not what you need to do. You need to move though. And you don't need to move for 20 minutes and then stop for the rest of the day. A lot of people will go and take a long walk and be like, I'm okay, I'm good. And then lay down on the couch or sit at your desk for the rest of the day. That's not effective. Moving throughout your day, sitting down for 20 minutes and then getting up, walking to the bathroom, or standing at your desk and just kind of fidgeting like I'm doing right now, allows the muscles to recover, allows the garbage to build up, allows the fluids to move through. So really, really important that you do that. It is not okay just to sit there. So again, continuous movement, whatever you can do within the confines of your job, obviously, making sure that you are moving effectively. Second thing that you want to do is you want to kind of roll out the muscles. So I'm a big foam rolling fan, as you know. However, usually the day after a long run, your muscles are really sore. You don't want to foam roll. If you can, that's great. However, if you just can't, and I'm one that I can't, like usually the day after a long run, I can't get on a foam roller. And I love it, I'm used to it, and I do it for maintenance now, but still the day after a long run, it's really, really sore. And it's not something that I enjoy doing, nor do I want to do. Totally fine. You want to get one of these, which is a Beastie Bar. They have the stick, which is kind of similar. It's flat. It doesn't do anywhere near the same thing. So don't replace doing what we're doing with the Beastie Bar with the stick. It's not effective. But this is going to allow you to apply a controlled amount of pressure into the muscles to break up some of that tissue that's sore. So you want to make sure that you're hitting all of the muscles in your leg, okay? Front of your leg, back of your leg, back of your calf, shin, all right? All of those muscles that are sore, you want to make sure that you get your arms, that you get all the way up into the sides, the obliques, into your back, all right? You're not neglecting anything. You run with your arms, you run with your lungs, so all of that needs the recovery, all of that needs the ability to get flushed out. This will allow you to do that in a more gentle setting. There are spikes on this, I'm well aware, so if you need to actually apply some pressure because you want to break something up, go for it. Push down harder, okay? Push as hard as you can. It is not going to affect you in terms of negatively, or you're not going to hurt yourself when you do that. I just recommend this rather than the foam roller because so many people neglect foam rolling the day after a long run when it's probably the most important just because of soreness. This is a great tool to have because you can apply as much pressure as you want, but again, you're doing it throughout the day and you're doing it at a pace and at a pressure that is tolerant to you. You want to do this about 20 minutes. And I say that, and I don't want you to sit down and do this for 20 minutes and then walk away. It's kind of like the long walk. Don't just go take a long walk and then sit down for the rest of the day. That's not effective. This, you want to do this a couple minutes every day, or during the day. You know, first you're doing your quads, then you have your hamstrings, whatever. You want it to kind of add up to 20 minutes. That's what I would say the minimum is. But honestly, if you're on the phone and you just want to, hit a body part every time you're on the phone, nice and easy, that's great, okay? Make sure that you are doing this continuously throughout the day. This is going to be as important as movement because, again, as you roll, you're going to feel that garbage in your muscles. You're going to feel some tender spots. So you want to make sure that you break them up. You want to make sure that you are getting rid of anything that's built up in the muscles. You want to make sure that fluid is moving. The next exercise you want to do is a stretch, and you want to do a stretch for your toes. So really important because the front of the foot often gets overlooked and it's really sore. It's taken a lot of abuse after a long run. So you want to just curl your toes under, and you should feel a stretch on the front of your foot. The day after a long run, it's probably not going to take you a whole lot to feel a stretch. You can do this sitting at your desk and just kind of tuck your toes underneath your desk. But you want to make sure you get that nice and easy stretch, especially in the front of the foot. You want to hold this about 30 seconds. You want to do about 6 of them, but honestly, you can do these throughout the day. That's not a big deal. But you just want to stretch your foot out nice and easy and then let it relax, okay? Don't stretch to the point of pain. You want to stretch to the point of just feeling okay, feeling good. It's probably going to be uncomfortable just because your foot's probably sore from absorbing the increased pounding the day before, and that's okay. The next one you want to do is actually, instead of curling your toes under, you're just going to keep your toes flat and you're going to stretch the bottom of the foot. So nice and easy, you're just going to come up again. You want to hold that 30 seconds 6 times. You may not feel a stretch with this, that's okay. You can put your toes up against the wall. All right, so the ball of your foot is up against the wall and you can slide down so your toes are perpendicular or parallel to the floor or the wall, and you want to make sure that you nice and easy stretch. Again, because I'm not sore from a long run, I can go down pretty far. You may not get down that far. You may only get to here, and that may be enough. You don't want to stretch to the point of pain. You want to stretch to the point of feeling good, okay? That's all about a recovery is. It is not about pushing yourself. It's not about having somebody jack your hamstring above your head. It is not about that. Understand you can really hurt yourself in the recovery process if you're not careful. But recovery is just as important. The next stretch I'm going to show you is the figure 4. So one of my favorites, it's on many videos, but you're going to sit up nice and tall. You're going to bring your ankle over your knee, okay? Allow your knee to drop down, sit up nice and tall, and all you're going to do is bend forward, okay? Now if you feel a stretch here, and you can feel a stretch in your low back, your hamstring, your quad, your glute, wherever it may be, that's okay. That's where you want to stop, all right? So if this is where you feel the stretch, great. You need to sit up straight and lean forward. That's fine too. You don't want to slump forward though. This is not how you want to be. Now, if you're here and this feels good, you can keep this here. So if you're sitting at a desk and you're taping, this can be enough of a stretch. You don't have to push and lean and really try and make that stretch more effective. This is good enough. You can sit here for 5 minutes and just allow that hip and that back to open up. That's okay, all right? Again, when you're talking recovery, you're talking about longer, lower loads, okay? So this is what we would call like a low load prolonged stretch. Don't worry about the name, but this is just, we want things to happen at a slower pace, at lower pressures, and for longer durations. So if you can sit here for a couple of minutes and hang out, great. That's really gonna open up those hips, nice and easy. Again, you don't want pain. If this causes shooting, any sort of pain, numbness and tingling, you're done. You don't want that to happen. And then what you want to make sure that you do is you want to make sure that you are eating properly. My nutritionist, I'm not going to go into it, but water is extremely important to hydrate throughout the day. I'm talking 32 ounces, 6-7 times to flush out your muscles, to flush out everything that built up in your system. That is an important piece. Do not overlook the nutrition and the sleep. There are also fancier aids out there. There's compression socks, there's boots, I don't even know all the stuff. This is like the at-home remedy when you don't have, $5,000 for some compression boots. If you or someone you know is suffering from pain and wants a free consultation with a doctor of physical therapy, all you have to do is call our office at 997-9898, and we'd be happy to get you in. Thanks and have a good night.